Western civilization is centered around greed and ego. I'm sitting here in my backyard and I'm really trying to figure out why is Western civilization so violent, so individualistic, and I feel like Western culture lacks perspective and truly lacks regard for any other people's walk of life or way of life if it gets in the way of their own. And I come here to say this, that I truly feel as if Western civilization doesn't, Western culture, right, doesn't have a good place in the world. And if the world truly wants to advance in a more positive, prosperous, perspicacious direction, it's going to start with the cultural shifts, the shift of values in the Western culture, in Western civilization. And a lot of Western civilization is built on, right, exploitation, colonization, right? Big holy wars, right? Rooted in violence and always fighting for power, right? And even philosophers talk about the act of self and bettering the self. Capitalism, our monetary system, tells you to work for yourself and you can do better for yourself, right? We have so many systems, so many ideologies, so many philosophies that tell us to only worry about ourselves. And quite frankly, it permeates into our culture and to our society. Our society is focused on personal agency and personal freedoms and liberties over community well-being for far too long. And it's simply just not sustainable, right? It's not going to get us anywhere as a civilization, right? And you can see it in the Western, how the West moves, right? People glorify money. They're very materialistic, very individualistic, right? Our community and our society cares more about how can they get an edge up on someone else rather than how can we build a better world for everybody else, right? And even the religions that are very active right now are out of the West are very focused on self, right? Which is cool to a degree, but if you start forgetting about everybody else, you start losing the plot and you start losing the meaning of life. I'm saying all this to say Western culture has fallen from it has fallen, right? And it is centered around ego, arrogance, violence, and war is central to everything. Western civilization praises war. War and money is the god of Western civilization. And it all stems from personal decisions, right? It all stems from us. It seems like as soon as somebody gets to a position of power, they make the wrong decision, or they make the most selfish decision, or they make the decision that's going to make them the most money without regard to anybody else's livelihood. And this is a terrible, nasty habit that needs to be dropped off in Western civilization.